Hey guys, Pat Do 1979 here. I'm gonna bring to you guys today a video on the Ego LM2114, so the latest model from Ego, and the DeWalt self-propelled. This is a 2023 model. I'll put the model number in the description because that model number is super long. So this is this is gonna be in the description of the video for the model number. But it is a self-propelled with two 10 amp hour batteries. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick walkthrough. So I already adjusted the two mowers deck height to be similar to one another. So I've got a concrete slab that I've put them on, and they're both the deck height exactly the same. So the blade, I also measured the blade from the deck, and it's the exact same. So both are on maximum settings, maximum cut settings, and yeah, guys. So I'm just gonna give you guys a quick walkthrough, and then we're gonna do some testing because my neighbor bought this exact model and returned it, and he thought it was defective. And let's see if it's gonna work properly. So you can see the grass. I don't know if you can tell the grass, but the grass is pretty long. My neighbor's been on vacation, and I thought it was a good opportunity to be able to do some testing with the mowers and just to see the difference between the Ego base model and the DeWalt that's self-propelled and a little bit more expensive. So I'm going to show you guys the mowers real quick. So the DeWalt, you have the adjustment for the wheels are the two on the front and the back, so you have to adjust each one individually. So you just adjust this one, and this will adjust the front and back. The Ego is a single lever, very easy on the Ego. You just have a single lever to pull and to readjust the mower. Battery bay, what's fun about the Ego is you can see the battery level from the top of the mower. So when you're mowing, the battery indicator is going to be on. The DeWalt, not so much, because the DeWalt, the battery compartment is the batteries are facing backwards, so that's a little bit of a design flaw. So when you put the battery inside like that, the battery is facing the other side. But I'll show you guys, both batteries are full. So hey guys, you guys can see that both batteries are full. So, and this thing is not, it doesn't hold up in place when you're putting it in. So it's just one of the drawbacks. It's not going to be holding in place. So compared to the Ego, the battery compartment is going to stay open, so you can access the battery, do whatever, and yeah. So they changed that on the Ego for this year because I think earlier model were spring-loaded and it wouldn't hold up in place like that. So good change. Bagging situation, it's pretty much the same. The mower itself, I'm going to show you guys the self-propelled and everything that's working. So basically it's just, you know, the basic control. So you have your push button, you push that, you pull on the and boom, you know, it's just, and then you go with the self-propelled and you just propel forward. So pretty easy, guys, on both mowers. So the Ego is the exact same. You just have a single button to press. You do have LEDs on the Egos, but you know, that's just a little in my opinion, that's just a little gimmicky. So but some people do use that. So but yeah, guys, so I just wanted to do a quick comparison on cut quality. So the grass, I don't know if you guys will be able to tell this, but the grass is pretty long. So this thing is really long. So let's try to see from the street here. That's the best angle I could give you guys, but this thing is long. So let me show you guys with a tape measure real quick. All right, guys, let's go measure the grass height that we're gonna cut. All right, so I'm just gonna measure the average at the highest spot. So let me see right here. So the average grass height is about 8 to 9 inches in diameter. So let me go around. So 8 to 9 inches in diameter. So right about here or here. So that is a pretty long blade of grass, guys. It is a pretty long blade of grass. So this is at the highest spot. So we're going to be able to test out and see how the mowers perform. One versus the other. So the height of cut is at the maximum right now, so 4 inches on both mowers. And we're just gonna go and bag, of course, because you don't want the grass blade to go back in the ground at that height level. They're not gonna decompose and just gonna do a thatch layer. So But you can see the bag on the Ego is bigger than the bag on the DeWalt, so might be able to put more in the Ego than in the DeWalt. So, but let's see the difference in the cut quality, all right? Let's see which one can bag and just get a little bit better. Let's start with the DeWalt. Alright guys, so the DeWalt has a high and low gear, so whenever it encounters a taller patch of grass, is going to kick in into high gear, and it's just gonna be able to give it a little bit more power. What I don't like about that is you're getting two different types of suction in the grass level from low to high speed when you're kicking it into high gear. And it's just something it's going to affect the cut quality a little bit, in my opinion. So, and I'm not used to this mower right now, so I might leave a couple of scragglers, but we're going to go back with the Ego anyways to be able to give it a good mow. But so far, not bad. I am just going to go and just do half of the lawn with the DeWalt and half of the lawn with the Ego. So that way I'm not going to be able to overfill the bag, so the bag is not overfilled right now, so that's perfect. So I'm just going to keep going, do 2 more passes with the DeWalt, or 1 more pass with the DeWalt, and just then we'll go with the Ego, because there's a good patch of grass on the right side too, which is higher, so we'll see with the Ego. I gotta say guys, that DeWalt is pretty quiet when it's in low gear, so when it's not using the maximum, it's pretty quiet. From what I can see, it did a pretty good job. So it's brand new, it's never been used before, so it's gonna do a good job guys for most parts. It did leave a couple of blade of grass, but overall pretty good job. And since it's a little heavier, you can see the tracks on the ground a little bit more than the Ego, I think. So let's go with the Ego and let's see how it does. Here we have the grass cut to about the same level on each side. I am gonna lower it once with the DeWalt and just go back and do the entire lawn with the DeWalt, just to see, because the bag is not really full right now. The bag is about, I would say, 1/5 of the way there, not even. A little bit more on the Ego, so the Ego did pick up a little bit more grass clipping, which is interesting. So I want to see that in the ground for the DeWalt. So the DeWalt still left a little bit of scraggler, a little bit of long grass here. So, and it did leave some on the ground. It didn't pick it up. Compared to the Ego did leave some of the grass as well, but no grass clipping though. So for some reason the Ego the bag on the Ego feels a little bit more full than the one on the DeWalt. So, and I could just show you guys in there, so I'm just gonna take them off and just show you guys real quick in there how much is in each one. That's about the same, guys, to be honest. It's about the same. So the Ego, the bag is a little bit smaller. I mean, the DeWalt, the bag is a little bit smaller, and the Ego, the bag is a little bit bigger. So, hi guys. So I think I'm gonna go back and do the DeWalt, since you know, this is my neighbor's lawnmower. I'm gonna go back and do the DeWalt 1 inch lower. I'm just gonna, you know, 1 notch lower on the DeWalt and just go back over the entire lawn, make sure to overlap good, and just see how it does. There's still plenty of room in the bag, so hopefully we'll see if the bag fills up. I know my Ego, the bag can fill up like entirely, and it's gonna over stack before it's overflowing, and you see grass coming out of the mower and just clumping on the ground. So this is going to be an interesting test with the Ego, so I'm just going to go back an inch lower. I know you're supposed to wait a day or something before you cut the grass again, but just another inch lower should be good, and then it's going to be good for a few days for my neighbors, and he's not going to be able to cut the lawn for a few more days. So, but yeah, I'm just going to do that real quick, just to go back and just to make it uniform, and the lawn is going to be super. So I'm just going to go back, and I got to say the self-propel is adaptive, so you don't have any speed to select. You just press on it and it just goes. So it's a cable actuated, and it goes to that little motor and engage the drives. But when you're pushing it without the self-propel on, it's offering you resistance, more resistance than the Ego. So if you're, you know, you don't want to use the self-propel or something, that's not going to be a good mower for that. So the self-discharge on the side here on the DeWalt is a self-discharge that is, you know, you add a little adapter, and I'm hearing some comments on people that this is, as soon as you bump it or something, it's going to fall off. So not really a good option. So more for mulching and bagging. And the Ego has a little plug on the back, which is way better for side discharge. But you know, what you want to do is either mulch or be able to bag with your lawnmower. So, all right, 1 notch here and 1 notch here. So, all right, exact same heights. So now let's go back and do the entire lawn. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little bit longer video. So. Alright guys, job well done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video. I gotta say guys, the DeWalt it's a decent mower, but the bag doesn't seem to be filled up any more than it was. So I don't know what's up with that. So the suction, that doesn't seem to have as good suction on the bag as with the Ego. So the bag is not even filled up even more, and the grass was super high. So this is supposed to be filled up a little bit more. So I'm concerned that some of the grass clipping went back into the lawn. That was a little bit too long to go back in there. So just a little something to think about, guys. So even on the lowering it one settings, I don't know why, but the grass clippings are not going, are not getting in enough. So on the wall. So the Ego, when I did that test with the Ryobi, so they both like sucked up an enormous amount of grass, and you can see even though I passed again on the with the DeWalt, there's still some grass clippings that are a little raised up, and I'll try to show that to you guys. But there's still some grass clipping that are a little bit high and just didn't get cut all the way. So hopefully you guys could see that. I can't even see that on the camera because of the shadows, but let me just do that real quick. And yeah, you can see the cut quality. So tell me guys what you think. So if I go back with the Ego, but I'm not gonna go back and just mow. It's gonna be on a different day. But I don't know, guys. The DeWalt did a pretty good job. At some point, my neighbor, when he tried to use it, it was jamming up and doing some clumps, and it wasn't bagging properly. But I think what happened is he put on a tool over setting for his grass height, and it just the mower didn't like that. So on the Ego, I know it's not an issue, but with the DeWalt, you need to be adjusting your cut height to really match the grass. Anyway, you got to remember the 1/3 rule, so you only need to cut the 1/3 of the grass. Even though right now I just cut half of the grass because it was almost 8 inches, and I cut it down to 4 inches. It still did a pretty good job, but I don't know, guys. Personally, I think the Ego has a little bit better cut quality, but Ego is, outdoor power equipment, and they've been doing outdoor power equipment for a good while now. And DeWalt, I think they're just offering a more, just to offer an option for their customers. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comment. Did DeWalt do a pretty good job? So I thought I was going to see some clumping and some grass clipping being stuck, and just a lot of clumping, even some jamming from the mower. But I didn't see that because I adjusted the height, the maximum height quality for the grass side. So now, if my neighbor leave that on this settings, and it just mows two times a week, once a week, bagging once a week, and if he wants to mulch, well, he could do twice a week, and for mulching it should be pretty good. But yeah, guys, so you can't leave too long of a blade grass in your lawn, otherwise you're gonna have a major thatch issue. So your grass is gonna die eventually after that. So yeah, that's one thing you need to do. So up close and personal. So it did miss a couple of blade of grass again, but I think all mowers are gonna miss 1 or 2 blade of grass eventually. My only concern is that, like I said, I've done 2 passes. I'd done half the lawn, but then I went back and lowered 1 inch and just went back and just bag it completely. And my only concern is that the DeWalt didn't get all that many clippings in the bag compared to the Ego. The Ego almost has the same amount of clipping, and I just did it on maximum height for the first, the next half of it, and the bag is almost as full as the DeWalt. So I think the Ego might be able to get some better grass clippings inside the mower itself. So it's just able to suck up more air. But you can hear the difference between the DeWalt and the Ego. The Ego has more bass power. I think the Ego has a kick up power boost mode when it gets really difficult, and it's the grass is a little bit more dense, or there's longer grass. I think the Ego also has a boost mode, but I didn't see it. But from the bass, you can hear the difference. Let me show you guys the difference in the sound. So the DeWalt is much quieter when it's on just normal and it doesn't kick up in speed. The DeWalt is stupid quiet at this level, but I'm thinking that it is that lower RPM that is doing, you know, that's not sucking up enough air inside the bag. So let me let you hear the ego. So the ego is a little bit louder, and you can tell that the RPM is just a little bit bigger, so you can just hear the difference, and you can feel it too on the ego. I think it just sucks more blades of grass in the bag when it comes time to cutting, and since it's spinning a little bit faster on the lower RPM, it's just cutting, doing a better cut quality than the DeWalt. But you know, the DeWalt offers at least something for their customers. So when you got batteries, and it comes with 2 batteries, and you know, it has 2 chargers, I think it comes with also. So, you know, you're getting a good deal from the DeWalt as well, since you have a steel deck and everything. I think this mower is going to last you a couple of years. But the ego, you know, ego is the gold standard, and I think the ego, for me personally, I like the ego a little bit better. I like the convenience that you don't need to play with tabs. So the DeWalt has 2 tabs here that you need to turn, and kind of like the Ryobi base version model, and just now you can readjust and just change that, and you just adjust that and click, and you put it back and it's secure. And the ego is just one simple lever, and you got a half stop there, and it's just, ego is designed, you know, it's been designed by engineers that are passionate about this stuff, and it's just the multiple handle position, the multiple everything on the ego is just, you know, it's just so much simpler and just so much more fun to play with than the DeWalt. So, and it has LEDs also if you want to mow at night. So will the ego has LED too. So, all right, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. That's always appreciated. I'll catch you guys on the next one.